welcome to episode 61, part 1 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters podcast. As usual, we'd like to start off by reminding you to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support the Kenya Simbas as they're still looking to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. I'm Demi Duffield.
And I'm Ngaro Kamuya.
So our feature game, Nondis versus Kenya Harlequins.
Yeah.
well, the main, like the Kenya Cup game was cancelled.
Yes.
Because I mean those conditions, it rained. There was rain. There was hail. Pitch was flooded. So there was no way that game was going to happen. They
say even without it raining, the Nondis pitch is it's quite a task to play on. So I can imagine how it would have been had the game gone on. But yes, as you said, they decided to cancel the game. And both Kenya Harlequins and Nondis decided that it was going to end as a draw. Draw meaning 2 points because whatever result, Nondis were going to finish where they were going to finish in the table, and Queens were going to finish where they were going to finish in the table. So the game was cancelled.
Yeah. So instead of that, you know, since there was the women's league. I mean, just a quick mention. That goes on usually on Sundays. So this was the third leg, and it was at KCB Sports Club at the Lions Den. In the final was Impala and Homeboys. And as Homeboys have won the first two, Impala actually won this one 10-5. So well done to the young girls of Impala. Yeah,
true. Well done to Impala. Clearly they're doing something right that many other clubs are not doing. I mean, as you've told us before, the women's team for Impala is fairly new, so they must be doing something right. But then again, boils down to something you were actually telling me just before we started shooting, is that not too many of the teams have their superstars, and maybe that's why Impala came out on top. But look, you're the one who would know better about that.
Well, generally, because you've got, you know, our sevens, more or less stars from the Lionesses team playing in like the likes of Mwamba. When you have them not playing, not that the girls who are left, you know, can't play or whatever, they really help boost the team. And teams like Nakuru and Impala just generally don't suffer from that. Nakuru, Impala and Comoros especially really don't suffer from that because they'll have maybe 1 or 2 players in the national team. A team like Homeboys, I think their first 7 out of 10 maybe have featured or are currently on the Lionesses squad. So you can imagine when the Lionesses players are called off and they can't play, then yes, you see those other 2 teams shining.
So I guess this was evident this weekend in the results. Look, that's my thinking. I don't know about what you'd want to say about it, but it looks, and it also happens in the men's side, like when some teams don't have a couple of their stars. For a very long time, Mwamba didn't realize the potential in Kenya Cup because the core of the sevens team was Mwamba. So it does happen across the board, both in the women's league and the men's league. But still, well done to Impala. Well done to Impala. Depth is key. Depth is very key.
Alright, so we had other games, Kenya Cup, yes?
We had the other results for Kenya Cup, match day 11, which is the last week of Kenya Cup, the round robin stages. So we had Black Blood lose to Cabras 352. We had Mwamba beat Nakuru 17-12, which was a shocker for me because I thought Nakuru were going to be gunning. I mean, they were gunning for something. They were gunning for a playoff position. I thought they were going to be able to, not convincingly, but at least register a win against Mwamba. And Mwamba haven't really been performing well this season. But Mwamba coming out on top and beating Nakuru 17-12. We had Homeboys beat Strathmore 27, which was expected. Homeboys versus Strathmore. Though I must add that with the kind of beating we've seen Homeboys giving guys, it's impressive to see that, you know, Strath were able to just hold them in the game. So kudos to Strath. 27. And Homeboys have depth and they're playing very well. We had Kisii RFC versus Mombasa, which goes to show you like how far Mombasa were, or how far off Mombasa were from the rest of the park. Kisii beating Mombasa 53-6. That was played at the Gusii Stadium. Unfortunately, those 2 teams do go down. Like I said when we featured Kisii in their game against Mwamba, I think Kisii is a team with the right amount of money and resources. They can comfortably compete with the other teams. It's unfortunate and it's very sad that they're going down. I really like the vibe in Kisii, and the way the community gravitates towards the team. So it's most unfortunate, but look, it's sport, as we keep on saying.
Yep.
And then we had what I think was the biggest game of the week, KCB versus Impala. Shocker again for everyone.
I know, yeah.
The game ending as a draw 9-9, KCB versus Impala. From what I hear from the guys who were there, KCB actually took their chances. They had very few chances and they took their chances very well. Impala had a lot of penalties and were only able to convert 3. So from what I hear, look, Impala could easily have won that game had they converted their chances. But somebody mentioned, as we were discussing later on after the games, and he was like, look, you need to realize that actually Impala is KCB's boogie team.
Yep.
And KCB had even made a comment apparently last week when they played Cabras, and they were like, look, these guys always are a boogie team. I think about it, last year Impala beat KCB in the round-robin stages. The year before, Impala beat KCB in the semi-finals. So taking that into account, then I'm not shocked at the result that came out from Impala. So those were the results for match day 9. I think you can read the table just to show how the playoff is going to line up.
Yeah, just before we move on to the table, I think you know, you having mentioned the Mwamba Nakuru game. You know, after you say that Impala is you know, generally KCB's bogey team, Mwamba actually have been in the past Nakuru's bogey team. They're the only team that you would comfortably travel to Nakuru and beat Nakuru at home. And no one knows how, but it always happens somehow.
Everyone has that team. Ask Queens about Menengai.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, but yeah. So sorry, just take you back. We had at the table. Sorry.
Yes.
For the rest of the Connect Up teams.
Yes. So so yes, looking at the table. We had KCB coming out on top, having not lost a game, only drawn 1.
Impressive.
Yes, very impressive. Then we had Homeboys, then Cabras, Impala, Harlequins, Strathmore. That's top 6, and then bottom 6 were Nakuru, Mwamba, Nondis, Blackblood, Kissi, and Mombasa.
Nakuru, Mwamba, Nondis. I feel bad for Nondis. Because I think at the beginning of the season, despite the fact that they lost to Blood in the first game, I think they had some momentum until whatever happened with the Union, the shoddy dealings and them being docked their points. By the time the points were being restored, it was a done deal. I don't think they would have caught up. Mwamba started very slow. By the time they started getting back into it, they were never going to catch up with the rest of the pack.
No way.
I just think Nakuru were unable to convert their chances in some of these games, like for example the Strathmore game. So I think it's deserved. Top 6,
top 6 definitely deserved. Cabras just going up on top of Impala after their game, after beating Strathmore in their last game. Because I remember last week's table, Impala were actually 3rd. But yeah, top 6 was pretty much expected, I'd say. Then we move on to the playoffs. So 1 and 2 get a straight pass to the semis, and then we've got 3 playing 6 and 4 playing 5. So that means Cabras play Strathmore in Kakamega. And Impala play Harlequins at Impala, which will be our featured game. So, yes, I actually think this is going to be bigger than the final, which will be our feature game, the Impala versus Quins game. But tell me what you think will happen for those two, and maybe we can go into a little depth with the Impala versus Quins game.
A couple of things come to my mind when I think about Impala versus Quins. The first thing I think is, Quins' problem right from scratch, beginning of the season, Fladdies, I have been saying that Quins' problem was the technical bench. They definitely had the personnel, but I just think some matchups and just getting the guys to, produce the results was tough. From what I've heard, Joseph Kangele is getting an active role in coaching, and I think that's going to be very good for Queens, because I've been around Joseph Kangele. I think the 2015 Prescott finals when he was coaching my former school, and I saw his technical prowess and his tactical prowess and how he understands the game and how he's able to break down the game and produce results from guys. So I hope, and the good thing is that now as Joseph takes on the coaching role, I hear he's getting reduced time play, or actually he's not playing. So I think that's going to be a key thing for Queens. Joel Nana still stays as head coach, but I think Joseph getting an active role in making decisions with regard to the squads and pairing is going to be something that's going to work for Queens very well. As I've said, their problem has been the technical side, a problem that Impala has not had. Impala have been okay. Impala, the technical has been fine. They've chosen the best squad, I think. They've matched up to the big teams apart from Cabras, who are They're a bogey team.
Yes, they're a bogey team.
So it's going to be an interesting game. I think the person who's going to win is number 1 mental because it's a derby. Number 2 forwards. The forwards, the person who dominates the forward play, because these two outfits have, in my opinion, and arguably the best backlines in Kenya Cup. So it's going to be an interesting one. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. So we just have to wait and see how it's going to be. I mean, Laila Siligwa, Samson Nsomu, Nato Simiyu, Isaac Adibo.
Yep.
It's going to be very interesting. So yeah, feature game of the week, Impala versus Queens.
Guys, show up. I mean, he's a Queen. I'm going to support Impala.
Yeah.
Who are you going to support? I'd love you to tell us on Instagram by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Davina Duffel.
And I'm Nero Kamuya.
See you in part 2.